Welcome back to BYU Sports Nation. This is your day-to-day BYU Sports play-by-play. I'm Spencer Linton alongside Jerem Jordan.
Oh, we just made another three.
Trevin Knell. Guys can shoot.
Getting buckets.
He's here with us in Studio B.
What's up, Trevin?
What a fun game on Saturday night to get to the quarterfinals. Congratulations to you and your team.
Thank you. It's super exciting.
Did you ever go by Trey as a kid? Because you have TRE in there, three-pointers?
I did not, but some people try to call me it.
Try, meaning you don't like it?
I mean, Trevin, Trey.
Okay.
Trevin.
Trevin.
It doesn't really work.
It doesn't work?
It doesn't work.
Okay. It was worth a shot.
Trevin is Trey-bien.
We're going to put an artificial accent on the E now, whether you like it or not. Trey.
Capitalize the V.
Yes.
A little accent over
Yes,
the E.
exactly.
Let's do it. What has the postseason mentality overall been for this team? Because from an outsider's perspective, a fan typically will say, well, they looked a little disengaged in the first half of the first game, but then like something changed at halftime, and from that point, you've been a different team. Is it as simple as that?
I think so. You know, that first half against Long Beach State, I felt everybody was a little disappointed. You know, like we all wanted to be in the NCAA tournament. We felt like we had the resume for it. And then that first half was just kind of like, okay, we got to get through this part. And the second half happened. Coach Pope came and talked to us, and we started being more engaged. We started trying to pass the ball a little bit more, and that whole dynamic changed. And then we played University of Northern Iowa, and we were excited. Like from the get-go, we were excited. And now we only got 40 minutes till New York, so we're excited.
That's pretty exciting. It really is, because there's some history there, as we were talking about in the opening segment and whatnot. But this was we'll talk about your game in a second. But Gideon George, just 27 points, starts going off. Is there a point where you're like, dude, you're on fire, keep shooting? Like, what's the conversation like when that happens?
I mean, he wasn't even talking. He was just going like this with his hand. Like, he's like, I was like, all right, G, calm down. We got this, kid. We got to go back and play defense.
How many shots did it take for him to do that?
I don't know. He had 4 wide open threes, and then all of a sudden it was just like, he made the first one, made a couple next ones, and then he was like, okay, every single time I touch the ball, I'm shooting it. And we were all excited for him. So
it was great. He was so good in that. And I was talking last week. I said, okay, Gideon, Trevin, Spencer. I want one of the three of you guys to emerge, right, and be the guy going into next year. Well, multiple of you are doing your thing, right, which is exciting too, because you want depth and you want to figure that out. But Gideon has such a good game. And then, of course, you bang in a tie career-high 5 threes as well. You were feeling it.
I was feeling great. Me and Brian Santiago, we always go like this to each other. It means the hoop's that big. So when you make your first one, and the first one for me felt pretty deep, and it was just in transition. So when I saw that first one go, I was excited. There's pictures of me in my face. I was just like super into the game, and then from there it was great, and my teammates were finding me and, make plays for each other.
What do you think of the graphic headline there?
There you go. There it is.
We're just going to add a Y. We're just going to add a Y in there that's not actually there. Now, was Brian at the game Saturday night?
He was.
That means he PJ'd to Madison Square Garden for the Jazz-Knicks game, did he not?
Yeah, he was courtside with Ryan Smith.
Well, when you got a billionaire homie.
I texted him last night, and I was like, hey, good to see you in MSG. I hope that you were there watching BYU in about 9 days. And he's like, oh, it's a pre-NIT scouting trip.
That was awesome. He was there Sunday for Jazz-Knicks. You got Danny, you got Ryan, you got Brian.
Okay, Trey, your name is full of amazing potential puns or play-on-word situations. Right?
This is what broadcasters do when the show's not on. We're like, what do we do with the names?
Trevin Knell in the coffin. Are you kidding me?
Yeah. And the Utah accent of that?
Yes.
Nailed it.
Knell in the
Yeah, yes, exactly. It's nailed, but yes.
Okay, some research. I'm going to bring you in on some history here, Trevin. Or Trevin. In 2013, when BYU went to the NIT Final Four, they played Baylor, Pierre Jackson, and lost in the Final Four.
Yes.
Baylor beat Iowa in the championship. So that was a Final Four loss.
Did we we went to Smashing Pumpkins after one of these?
Yes. In 2016, I think it was 2016.
It was that night. We raced out to go to that.
In 2016, BYU went to the NIT Final Four and lost to Valparaiso, who then lost. I said St. Bonaventure. It was George Washington.
Oh, I'm so mad at you.
Okay. By the way, George Washington, the only non-P6 team in the last 10 years to win the NIT.
False. George Washington's never lost. Read 1776.
So, Trevin, you can take this information back to your teammates. BYU's been to the Final Four a couple times in the last decade. They haven't gotten to the championship game. Okay? Motivation. And Spencer Johnson said, hey, we want to hang a banner, baby.
Exactly. That's our goal. We want to make history. T-John said at the beginning of the year, this season's going to be a movie. And you know what? We're living it right now.
Listen,
with the closing seat in New York City, serendipitous.
Yes, nice. And Mark and Leanne would show you around the town. Like, and Spencer told us he's already discussed that trip as a sort of motivating factor of like, hey, let's get there.
He has. He said, hey, if we make it there, it's going to be a fun trip. Like, you guys are going to remember New York. And for me, I've never been to New York. So
it'd be awesome.
Yeah, I'm super pumped.
It's a great city.
Most of you, like that we're gathering, most of you have not ever been to New York City.
Yep.
Leanne needs to call in her late night connections and get you guys into the Jimmy Fallon show or something like that.
Different network, but
whatever. Whatever.
He was NBC, and then he switched to, yeah. For those who don't know, Leanne Pope, Mark's wife, was David Letterman's executive assistant for a few years.
Amazing.
Like, go listen to their Deep Blue podcast. We talked about it.
All right. Trevin Knell is with us on BYU Sports Nation, sharpshooter for BYU. The hoop is this big right now. What do you know about Washington State? And were you all in on the game yesterday? Like, did you watch Washington State play SMU?
I did, and they're a really good team, and they took it to SMU to start the first half, and they have these two centers. Well, they're 6'11", 6'10", that start the game, but then they have these little two guards that they're not super tall, but they're super quick. And so it kind of, for me, reminds me a little of a San Francisco feel.
I was just going to say that. They remind me of the Dons.
Yep. And so we're excited because, we were unfortunate to beat them in the WCC tournament. And this is kind of like a revenge game,
Is Kyle Smith somewhere else, or is he still there, the coach? I'm trying to remember.
Wasn't even paying attention to
because he was at San Francisco. There's a connection there.
Yeah, I wasn't even paying attention to the situation. I'm Googling that right now.
We'll break it down more, but Michael Flowers has 256 three-point attempts this year.
Yeah.
Tyrell Roberts, 225. You have, it is Kyle Smith. So there's your San Francisco connection.
Former San Francisco head coach.
There we go.
He went to Wazoo. AB is the only player on the team with more than 130 attempts. I think you should shoot 73s in the next couple of games. Tell me about the motivation here, because, and we talked to Spencer about this. It was interesting. Like, how quickly did you turn the disappointment of not making March Madness to, okay, we're here, let's go? And fortunately, you've been able to have now 3 home games in the tournament.
Yeah. How crazy is the fans, though? Like, we had, 5,000 the other night?
Loud, though.
And they were loud. It felt like a full gym.
Which is super interesting. If you tell me 5, I go, what happened?
That's it.
But they were loud.
Some of the guys were talking like, man, nobody likes us anymore. And we get, halfway through the game, and all of a sudden it's like you can't even hear Coach Pope calling a play call. You can't hear anybody talking on the floor. And so the people that want to be there want to be there, and it's loud.
True. The faithful showed up. Like the truly loud. And then there were more Saturday, which is great. Yep. I'm calling for, hey, you, right there, you watching, listening. 10K on Wednesday. Let's go.
There were 15,000 the last time BYU had a home quarterfinal against Creighton to get to Madison Square Garden.
I remember that game. That was a huge game. It was fun.
So make it happen. Let's double up. There were 7,000 on Saturday. Let's double this thing up. Let's go crazy.
Let's go.
Get them to Madison Square Garden.
Yeah,
seriously.
They want the Spumoni in New York.
Well, and I think it's fun too, Trevin, that we know the last home game now for the seniors. Like,
exactly.
We thought it was the last home game. Now we know. Mm-hmm. There's sort of an emotional element to that that's pretty cool too.
It's super emotional. The game against Long Beach State, we had Gavin Baxter speak to us before the game, and he's like, hey, I would give anything to be out there. And so that touched us because he was super emotional talking about it. And then the last game, we had Richard Harwood talk, and he's like, hey, you guys got to just take in this moment. You don't ever know when your last game is going to be. And now we know this is our last home game. Everybody knows it.
Yeah.
And so how cool would it be to fill the gym for Alex Barcel and Tijan Lucas?
Let's go.
Let's get him to New York.
Let's get him to New York.
Let's finish this movie.
And as a basketball player, being able to play in the world's most famous arena would be unbelievable.
Unbelievable. Right? It's it's a dream for growing up, and you get to play in a gym like that. And so
I'm not as good of a player as you, obviously, but at one time I had a dream that I scored 20 in MSG, and it's my favorite dream of all time.
You have it written down somewhere?
Yeah, it's
Jimmer
in here.
lived that in the NBA when he went for his career high 24.
Yes, as a New York kid. Pretty cool.
Yeah, with the Kings. Trevin Knell is with us on BYU Sports Nation.
And did he go off as a Nick? He got a 10-day, didn't he? The Knicks from Westchester?
I can't remember what his.
He played as a Nick for a couple games. Yeah.
Okay, Trevin, what can BYU accomplish this year in order to impact and get things rolling towards next season positively? How do those things tie in and intertwine?
I mean, we want to hang a banner, and I feel like that's going to be something remarkable, and to be able to show something in Mary Center that, hey, that's part of us, that's our legacy right there, and so you leave your mark on the court, and we're excited for to finish out the season, we got 3 more games. That's what we expect. 3 more games to go. And once that's over, we're jumping right into postseason or I guess summer workouts, and we're getting ready for the next season. And so it's a full year thing for us.
How do you avoid thinking about next year too much and just living in the moment here?
Because we want to go to New York. We got 40 minutes. That's what Coach Pope, he even texted us last night, and he said, hey, 40 minutes. That's all it is, 40 minutes. We got one more home game, 40 minutes, we go to New York. And so it's just a dream of ours, and we feel like we deserve to be there. We deserve to be in the NCAA tournament, and so we got an edge, like everybody says.
40 minutes to New York.
40 minutes
Mark
to New York.
it down. Let's go.
We have 30 minutes left on our show. Yeah.
It's been a good first 10 minutes with Trevin Knell here.
It's been awesome.
Okay. We are making sure everybody has signed the flag now
Yeah.
because we have guests back in studio. Have you signed our flag, Trevin?
I have.
Okay. You have signed the flag.
We're right here
Okay.
somewhere.
It's in there.
Just
We're
keep it
just
over there.
double checking.
We'll get that later.
Because for a long time we were over Zoom, and it's like, okay, who signed the flag and who hasn't signed the flag? Pre-Zoom, post-Zoom. But
It's
Trevin
fun when
signed the
people are
flag.
saying, yes, I've done it.
We're good.
That's good.
You do need some karma, though.
Do need some karma.
Let's keep it rolling, dude.
6 3-pointers on Wednesday. Let's
go.
go, baby.
Let's go.
I'll just settle for a win period. Take out the Cougs, man.
Take out the Cougs. Okay, good luck Wednesday.
Appreciate it.
Thanks.